Hi everyone. We talk about expectations all the time. How many of you have expectations on your kids that maybe you don't even realize that you have? I know I've done it. And so today I want to talk about 5 things that we need to stop expecting from our adult children. So those of you that are new here, my name is Sally Harris. I'm so glad you're here. And the reason this channel exists is because I am a firm believer that every mom deserves a support system during this difficult season. And I am a mom who walked this road with my own daughter for 10 years, and all the while her life was spiraling out of control, so was mine, which is why I do what I do. So welcome, I'm so glad you're here. So let's dive into this. And so I've got 5 things that I believe that we need to stop expecting from our adult children, and honestly from people in general. This does definitely apply to our kids though as well. And I always talk about expectations and how we need to bring our expectations down a bit, because you don't get disappointed when you don't have your expectations set so high. Because people are human, people are going to disappoint us. And when our kids disappoint us, it feels like the end of the world, but really they are human as well, right? And so let's dive in. So number 1, I have expectation is to stop expecting them to agree with everything that you said. So we expect, hey, I raised them this way, so they have to agree with what I think and with what I say, right? Well, that's false. Like I said, they're grown adults. These are not 10-year-olds, even 15-year-olds, but even them, can have opinions. But the difference there is like having those opinions and talking about it respectfully. So that's a whole nother video. But number 2 is stop expecting them to be perfect. Newsflash, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and your kids are not going to be perfect either. Number 3, stop expecting them to be the same person they were a year ago. That one is so hard. That one is hard, especially when things were great a year ago, but they're not great now. And I know what that feels like. And so then you go, what in the world did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? What led their choices to XYZ when last year they were doing fine? So obviously there's a lot of unknown answers in that. But that is a tough one. But again, look at yourself and think, am I the same person I was a year ago? I'd like to say I'm better than I was a year ago because I continue to grow and work on myself. But if I go back, 7, 8 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was getting worse by the year. And now I like to think I'm improving, right? But that's a choice. That's a choice where we have to make those decisions to get the help we need so we can move forward in a good way. Number 4 is stop expecting them to always be around. Especially when your adult children live near you, or maybe even if they don't live near you, maybe you talk on the phone or FaceTime all the time or whatever. We can't expect that they're always going to be around, contacting you every day, multiple times a day. When you're having a good relationship with your child, maybe you are talking to them frequently. But there's going to be times and seasons where you're not, and you need to be okay with that. Because our happiness is not their responsibility. And so we really need to be able to identify the areas in our own life and our own relationships that we need to focus on and to do things for ourselves. Lastly, number 5 is stop expecting them to understand you. But why not, right? We just assume that they should understand everything that we're saying. So they're not going to always understand some of our beliefs maybe, or how we think about how something should be done. They're not always going to understand. But again, that goes back to the respectful piece. And when respect is there, we can have differences and just agree to disagree. But I know it doesn't always work out that way. But those are 5 things that I think we as moms need to stop expecting from our adult children. So I hope this helped you. Maybe put a few things into perspective, give you a few new thoughts. For those of you that have not joined my Facebook group yet, it's called Mama Just Breathe. We'll put a link below, and we would love to have you. That's over on Facebook. And as always, if we have not chatted before and you want to have a 30-minute conversation with me, kind of tell me what's going on with your situation with your child, and I can give you information on how I can help you. So those would be great. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.